So you ready to get into this?
I'm tuned in.
I am too high. I wouldn't say too high. I am high.
I'm 3 high then.
Great. Well, then let's do it. It's perfect.
The Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast.
All right. Are you high, Joey? Are you high? Are you high?
I'm not low.
Okay. That's good. I am also high. Listener, I hope that you are high as well, because today we're going to be bending your minds. You don't have to be high.
Bending.
It's not like you have to be high to enjoy it.
It's like a sport.
Yeah, you just have to be open-minded and loose-minded, because it's about to get bent on today's...
And bendy-minded.
Yeah, also that. This is the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is Half Bend Mind.
Wow. Okay. That's going to be hard to remember. I'm going to see if I could do it. But, I've never been one with names, so don't blame me if I forget it. Half Bendy Mind?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? All right. Myself and Half Bendy Mind are here to talk about conundrums. That's right. That's what it says on the title of the show. So that usually means it's what we're going to talk about.
And try to bend your mind the other half.
Half Bendy Mind.
Yeah.
Okay. This is barreling it into my head, so I know. I'm starting to remember it. This might be a permanent name for you, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah, no? What do you think? You like it?
No.
No? Yeah.
Doesn't stick, really.
You're right. How long have you been going through names now? For like about a year?
My whole life.
Wow. I guess, yeah. I guess that holds up.
Every day is a new opportunity to have a new name.
That's true. So, do you also live every day as if you are this new person with a new name, or is it like the same core person?
It's like when you try on a hat.
Oh, okay, I see. So it kind of like you're still the same guy, but it changes your demeanor, gives you a little waka waka. One of those.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
To people around you. Like people around you are like, oh,
Well, maybe it's not even for them. Maybe it's just for me.
Yeah, could be.
Maybe I just like trying out new names. Maybe I'll find one that sticks one day.
Hopefully. I hope so.
Maybe I won't.
Just because like we're friends and it's hard to see you on this journey of trying to find this name, this solid name. You've had a lot of good ones. Motherfucking flame emoji is probably the one that sticks out to me. And, that almost stuck. Almost. One day, I mean, I wish that you would just settle with Vesugio Velasquez.
The last name has a different variation every time. Just a little bit.
That's right.
A little switching it up.
So we are, I think that we need to take another dab soon, but we are significantly high. And we were thinking about shit that just trips you out, bends your mind. I saw a video by Carl Sagan recently, and I think that definitely launched me into a new level of trippiness. I'm always tripping out on shit. I guess the thing that I trip out on most is space, because it's easy. Every night you can go outside and look up in the sky and fucking just realize what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Like you look at it and you're like, oh, there's the stars and here's the Milky Way and here's this. And then like you look at it for a minute and you think about like how we're in space and how these are all distant stars and galaxies, and then you see it like in a new depth, almost like those paintings that are all just a weird painting, but then if you look through the painting, you see something else. Like it turns into that, and everything gets all Star Wars. And then I trip out about how we're like in space, floating on this rock. What stands out to you? What do you trip out on?
I don't know. I think the trippy part about space is the expanding factor. You know, like we're shooting through space on a fucking rock, orbiting another rock. Our sun
looks like a bullet.
Yeah.
That's just shooting through space that has a bunch of things spinning around it. I don't know if people have seen that diagram that was floating around.
Yeah,
but I did.
We're not just sitting there and like I always had the other perspective of like we're just there in space in our piece of space,
and it's all still and calm.
Yeah, and we're just moving around the sun, but no, we're all fucking flying.
Yeah.
And it's hard to think about. It's hard to understand and like grasp, really what's happening.
Yeah. And that's the trippiest part, is that there's things that you don't understand at all until you look at them from a certain perspective. And some things you still can't understand. You could just imagine. And that's what this Carl Sagan video that I saw was all about, the fourth dimension and a tesseract. Have you ever seen a tesseract?
No.
Google it real quick. Google up tesseract. And everybody at home, check it out too. So what it is it's also known as a hypercube. And it's a cube, like a three-dimensional cube that's within a bigger three-dimensional cube. And it's all connected. And I remember we made one when I was younger. We used to play this game called Morton's List. That was like this Juggalo game. That was actually a really cool game because it was filled with a bunch of activities and you had to go and do things. And one of the things that we got was all about the fourth dimension and the tesseract. So we had built this tesseract poorly out of toothpicks and jelly beans and shit. But I was watching this Carl Sagan thing and he had a tesseract there. And he was talking about here, I'm going to lay it out for you. So say that there's a two-dimensional world that a bunch of two-dimensional people live in. And they have width and they have length, but there's no height. Everything is just like thin, nothing. And they go around in the town and go into their houses that are just flat things that they go slide into. Like he had a bunch of little cardboard cutouts and shit. So he's sliding them around. And then he brings a three-dimensional object in, and it's an apple. And the apple comes down, and he says that the people that are in this level that's only 2 dimensions, they can't see the whole apple. They can't look up at the apple because there is no up. So they can only see this little tiny section of the apple that's touching the ground. And if the apple were to kick one of the dudes in this 2-dimensional world up, then it would see everything from like a new angle. And then when it landed, it wouldn't be able to explain what it saw. It would be like, I was in this weird place called up, and I saw into our houses, like our houses are like open on the top, and people are like, what the fuck's the top? Like, what are you talking about? And that's what it's like trying to understand the fourth dimension for people like us. So he had a cube, and he showed the shadow on the table, which is a cube that you draw like in 3rd grade class. Everybody's drawn it with 2 squares, and you connect the squares, and it looks like a little 3D cube. But a cube, when you hold it in your hand, all the lines are straight, like, 45-degree angles. But when you draw it on paper, all the lines are crooked, and they're not perfect angles because you can't get a perfect representation of a cube in 2 dimensions. You only get the shadow of a cube. So the tesseract is actually not a tesseract. It's the shadow of a tesseract, a 4th dimensional object, but it's 3D shadow. So we can't see it. We could just see the shadow that it makes in 3D. You following this?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a trip. So I always thought the tesseract was a 4th dimensional object, but it's really not. It's really just a 3D shadow of a 4th dimensional object that we can just imagine what it would actually look like. Carl Sagan's the shit. I've been watching a lot of old Carl Sagan videos on YouTube, and I highly recommend them.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Mm-hmm. So, 4th dimensions in space and all the shit we usually talk about, the Mandela effect, stuff like that, that definitely interests me for sure. And that's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Oh, I'm so creeping and crawling.
All right, there we go. That was a great commercial. I don't know what the fuck happened over there, Jerry, but you're dropping the sauce.
All right.
It was like 3 seconds of commercial.
3?
3.
All right.
Did I say 3?
I don't know. What did you say?
I don't know. But either way, Creepy Crawlers are today's sponsor. So thank you to them. They sent us a whole bunch of creepy-ass crawlers. Did you get yours?
No, but I got some other creepy things.
Oh, shit. All right. What do you got?
Some of the things from the list that we were watching earlier.
Uh-huh.
Some of the ones I got were creepy ones. I tried to pick out the creepy ones.
All right. Well, what were some standouts to you? What's the first one on your list?
The first one on the list is pets.
Yeah, that was on my list too. That's a weird thing when you start thinking about it.
Yeah.
So this video that we watched was things that get weirder as you start thinking about them. And that definitely is one.
Yeah.
Especially when you think about how all dogs were made from wolves and how we bred all these different breeds, and we really do keep them captive in a lot of ways.
Yeah, we steal them and then keep them, and then they learn to love us.
Yeah, it's like take an old man with his dog, take the dog and replace it with a college girl. You have an instant horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that's really weird. Just pets in general. That, I think it's dope, but it's also really weird. It's like
it's
only people would think to.
Strange concept.
People work with some animals in nature still. People work with some dolphins to fish or whatever. People work with things like that. Other things like wolves or dogs or whatever will help them hunt, and all kinds of stuff. So there's a million examples, I'm sure. But,
yeah.
So there's some relationships that are wild in nature that I could see like that, but the way that we've adapted a lot of pets is crazy. We've got pets in every form too,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That we have a lot of weird pets, especially in other states outside of California. They got some weird pets. I
got a turtle.
Yeah, and then there's ferrets. You can fold those in half.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? I'm thinking of something because I remember they have them in Oregon. They're legal in Oregon, and my niece wanted one.
I don't know.
Maybe it was Arizona they're legal in. Some sort of little weird animal. Maybe it was a chinchilla. Maybe not.
Probably something like that. A little weasel.
Yeah. There's all kinds of weird domesticated animals. And more every day. People fucking are having deer and tigers in their house and shit. So you never know what the future holds with pets. Maybe a pet uprising. Has there been a movie like that yet? Is it Dr. Dolittle?
Pet Cemetery.
Maybe. No. Yeah, I guess. Pets, all the pets come back to life when you bury them there, right?
Yeah.
And then they buried a guy there.
I don't know.
Then he came back to life. I know that movie scared me when I was a kid. It was creepy.
We should do that movie.
We should, and fucking see if it scares me now.
Yeah. Scare me now?
Can you scare me now?
Scare me now?
All right. One of the ones on the list that stood out to me that I trip out on is time. Is that a gunshot?
No, that was time.
Oh, I thought you shot me, and I was like, man, that would have hurt my feelings.
Ouch.
So, time is one of those weird things to where it doesn't exist. Everybody just agrees that it's a thing. And there used to be a time when it was like, the sun would come up and it was time to wake up. That's when the rooster crowed. He was your alarm clock and it was time to get up. So you would go out and then it was time to fucking feed the animals. And then you would eat breakfast. And then by then it was time that you should probably go to work. So you start heading to work, do your job. Once the sun starts going down, it's about time to get off. It was just all based on the sun and rough estimates. And then people started making clocks to they use sundials forever. People started making clocks. And then all the clocks were different. Like I read that back in the 1800s, all the way up until then, you would go, to the bank and the clock would say 8:30. And then you would go to the saloon or whatever and the clock would say 8:50. But they were both right. It was, close to 9. Fucking whatever, But when they started building the trains and having train stations everywhere, then all the clocks needed to be the same because you needed to catch your train at a certain time. The train came at this time today. So if you were at the bank or you were at the saloon, you needed to know exactly what time it was. So everybody synced their clocks. And ever since then, we've been counting seconds. Everybody counts their minutes and seconds and needs to be somewhere and needs to do something. And I need to do this by then. And, everyone's ruled by time, which not that long ago wasn't a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was, though. It might not have been the clock.
It wasn't as serious what it is now, but.
Well, no, it's that's why the quote is time is relative, because it's relative to whatever you're doing, relative to time of year, relative to when you gotta fucking plant your seeds or when you gotta harvest or fucking time of day, sun up or sun down, time has always been a part of whatever, whether it's, a real thing that you can count by the minute or not, it's always felt, I'm sure, in one way or another as fast or short or it's always felt I don't know, people, you have body clocks for certain things and you you can only have kids for certain times and so many things will keep some type of time.
Yeah, you're right. There's always all these little clocks, but it wasn't as down to the second as it is now.
Well, if the Mayans, you ask them, they probably would have said otherwise. They would have said, "Oh no, motherfucker, check this Bach tune. It's telling you right now that the fucking lizard god's coming back and at this amount of years." And
yeah,
oh, no.
You're true.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's their fault. Maybe it's not the railroad. Maybe it's the Mayans. That's who I should be mad at.
Yeah.
No, I take that back. I'm not mad at the Mayans. Love you guys. Next on the list, the ocean.
I don't fuck with the ocean.
Yeah, neither do I, and neither do I, and probably not a lot of other people that are listening.
I don't even want to like. I don't go in boats on the ocean. I don't even want to fly over the ocean. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay above land where I got a motherfucking shot at least. You know?
Yeah. Fuck that.
My ass does not float. I will sink. I'll be shark bait or some shit. I'm not having it. I watch too many like Discovery Channel shit.
Yeah.
I know what's out there. I don't like my chances.
Yeah, and there's a lot of shit that we don't know. We know less about the ocean than we do about fucking the universe.
That reminds me, did you see the video of the recently seen Megalodon?
What? Oh wait, and it like creeped by the camera? Like you just saw like the shadow of it going by?
No.
No?
No, they have one go by a camera and you see the whole thing. And it has a 10-foot cage in the background for perspective so you can see like how big the shark is next to the cage or whatever. And the motherfucker looks like a whale compared to that cage. That cage looks like a little matchbox or some shit. It's crazy.
I'm gonna try to find it. So how recent was it? These are from like a year ago. Try to see if you can find that bad boy.
All right.
Get that boy. You scared of that pretty little thing?
You scared?
All right, I got it. All right. So here is the Jesus Christ.
That cage is supposed to be 10 foot.
What the fuck? Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? Man, that is some fucking huge shit.
Yeah, it's fucking ginormous.
Yeah, find it. It's called it's a Megalodon caught on camera, real or fake, on Bill's channel, and it's about 57 seconds in is when it starts, and that looks pretty fucking insane. Even if it is a smaller cage, that is a very, very big shark.
Yeah.
And it had shark face.
I don't know. You think it's real?
I don't know.
I mean, it's real. It's something.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be a small cage, but for them to have that small cage, bring it out there, put it down there, and then have a big enough shark just come by and lay on top of it seems a little convenient. You know what I mean? It could also be. It could also be doctored footage. Dr. Jones. What do you think? You think it's real or fake?
I don't know. I think it's real. It's real of something, but I don't know if it's a fucking Megalodon, but I don't know. Who knows? You know, like there's a lot of shit that's out there.
I know that it was found. It was found in the Mariana Trench, which I was going to bring up because that is the creepiest part of the ocean. It's the deepest part. We haven't even been down to the bottom of it. We know that it's 7 miles deep and 2,550 kilometers long. So 2,550 kilometers, I'm just going to do the math real quick, is about like 1,500, almost 1,600 miles long. And it's just this deep ass like Grand Canyon underwater that no light penetrates down there. And nobody knows what the fuck's going on. There's megalodons down there. Sasquatch lives down there. There's probably Atlantis probably picked up and moved. You know how like they'll take old houses and they'll put them on like a trailer and then move them through town and like shut down traffic and shit?
Yeah.
They did that with Atlantis and they moved it to the Mariana Trench.
No.
That's what I think. That's my theory. And theories are allowed to be had. So, don't hate on me for it.
Look at this. There's places
No.
in our own country that haven't been explored. And the oceans are way bigger than any country. So if you just think about the math right there, there's more unexplored places on Earth than people realize, It's
And
mostly unexplored still.
Yeah, and check this out. Everybody knows that the Earth is 71% water. That's what everyone says. Earth's 71% water. Well, the Earth's surface is actually 71% water, but the oceans and everything all added up, it's 96% of the Earth's mass is water.
No.
Water.
What about the inside, bro?
The inside's also water.
No.
We're a water balloon made out of water.
Nah.
Once rock turns into magma, it's water again.
Nice.
No. Actually, what it says here is that 96% of the Earth's water is in the ocean.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So that's what I had wrong.
That's
But also, water. Building block of life. Either way, whatever I was going to say about water. The ocean is a trip, and I stay out of it. I do not swim in it. Nor do I boat on it.
What about skeletons?
Skeletons?
Those are creepy, right?
Yeah, those are pretty creepy. If I were to be anywhere near a skeleton right now, especially around Halloween time, that'd creep me the fuck out for sure. I don't want a skeleton. I don't want a skeleton anywhere near me.
It's in you.
What?
It's in you.
I'm getting raped by a skeleton?
Yep.
Oh my god, I have a skeleton inside of me.
In you.
That's creepy.
It's floating in you.
We're all skeletons. Yeah, floating inside of our fat and goos.
Yeah.
That's a trip. Trip the fuck out.
You got a skin bag over your skeleton.
Uh-huh.
It's custom designed.
See, the more you think about that, it's weird. And you know what I want to do? Dude, check this out. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to announce it on the air so that it becomes a new fad, and hopefully people will join along with me. This is my new thing. Are you ready?
Ready.
You go into surgery. It's a mix of two things, okay? I just burped into the microphone just because I was so excited. First thing, you go into surgery. They put you under. They open up your chest cavity as if they're doing some sort of, surgery inside of your lungs or your intestines or something. It's right here on the bottom where it's safe. Open you up, pin you open, and then we bring in world-class tattoo artist, Corey, whatever his last name was, Corey from LA Inc. You remember that show with Kat Von D?
No.
We bring Corey in. Corey is going to tattoo my ribs. Bunch of sick rib pieces of coffins and bats. So that way when I die and my body rots and only my skeleton remains, I'll be all tricked out and I'll be I'll have tattoos in the afterlife when I come back. If a zombie apocalypse happens and I rise from the dead, I'll have some sick pieces on my ribs or on my skull.
You could just do that when you die.
No, I want to have it and be able to brag about it at parties and stuff and show people the video of me getting cut open and tattooed and be like, yeah, man, it's right in here. Also, did I mention that section of my skin is going to be replaced with a see-through 3D printed skin-like material that's saran wrap. So I'm going to be able to show people my tattoo and some of my bones and stuff and intestines. Does that sound exciting?
I got another one.
Seriously though, do you think that's a good idea or no?
No.
Because I just put a lot of money into that.
Sorry.
And I'm bringing it to Shark Tank.
All right. Ready?
I'm ready.
Time travel.
time travel.
I'm working time travel right now, right?
Yes, I am. I'm ready.
Today,
Yeah.
we did the Randy Quaid episode.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
That's time travel. A podcast within a podcast.
Randy Quaid. All right. Here, let's recreate a little bit of it. I still have the old scripts back when the podcasts were scripted. And here, I'm gonna toss this to you. All right. Here, let's just read a couple lines off of this. And he's like one of the main characters. He's the whole side story. That's not Will Smith. Is Randy Quaid. That's the whole movie, and I forgot all about it. Was he also in Mars Attacks? Because I think I was getting those two movies mixed up. We're supposed to be reading our lines, and I don't know where that second voice came from. I don't know how you could talk on top of talk. That's weird. See, that's a trip. That's trippy. So yeah, time travel. The greatest theory about time travel that trips me out is that if time travel is possible, which there is a good chance that it will be in the future, the way that technology has been progressing, then time travelers have already visited us.
I heard
Yeah?
incredible things.
What'd you hear?
I'm hearing so many things.
Okay.
They're coming straight from the tubes and the interwebs.
Yeah.
And things. And they're great things.
Good.
By the way.
Good.
Only the best.
Okay. What are they?
And they're telling me that CERN is going to figure out how to time travel by accident by the year 2034.
Ooh, dang. That's not that far away. They're gonna learn to time travel by accident.
Yep.
Elaborate on this.
Because
they're just gonna be fucking around with all their shit.
Achieve some shit that is going to create a warp, like a wormhole type of warp.
Yeah.
And they're find it out how to open and use stargates, something like that.
Fucking stargates.
What?
Mm-hmm. There's a stargate.
Do you think that's real? Do you think that's a possibility? I don't know, man. I think maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You never know. I think that black holes are weird. We're going back to space, but black holes are a trip, and there's a lot of theories that suggest that if you go through a black hole and somehow were to be able to survive it, like there's no way that we would, but if for some way that we'd be able to survive it and get to the other side, that you would come out somewhere and some like when else in time, and you would be in a different place and a different time in the universe. It would just kind of like, they're little portals. And if that's the case, if we were to accidentally build, we have particle accelerators that make mini black holes. So if we were to make some sort of stargate that uses the power of a black hole, but makes it to where we would be able to pass through it and it's stable enough, then yeah, that's time travel in theory. And that's like from smart people.
Here's the fucking crazy thing about that is, if we time traveled, wouldn't it have to be like the whole Earth?
The whole Earth time travels?
Yeah, because we're going through existence at a constant rate of speed. And for us to time travel, we would have to go back faster than that speed. Way faster than that speed. To be able to gain on it and to be able to actually go backwards and achieve reaching a different time. Because, how else can you do it? If you created a wormhole,
yeah.
Let's say, they make time travel seem like possible as like it's a fabric, right? Like you bend the fucking fabric
And you stab
like
through
this,
it.
and and so you create a hole from here to there, and then you end up over here, which is way back,
Yeah.
right? Or forward, however you want to go, however you want to leapfrog it. But when you get back, where's everything else that was over here? That's I think is the conundrum of what they've always been saying. It's like, does that mean that now there's two Earths and two separate times because of it?
Yeah.
So like now there's this Earth where you came from, and it's still traveling at that same rate of speed,
And you're gone from it?
and now you're just on this other Earth that you created by going through a time warp and going back in time theoretically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that basically what I'm saying is like every second there's a new Earth and a new time, and it's like in a trail behind us. And it's like dot 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 dot. You know what I'm saying? And for you to be able to achieve time travel, you have to go back to one of those other Earths.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Like each one's created every moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what if the time traveler that somehow creates time travel, when he goes back in time and goes back to last week, and he sees that everything's happening like last week, and he's like, wow, I'm in last week. This is amazing. I time traveled back to last week. Well, like you said, if the whole world goes back to last week and it's not just him, the whole world goes and the previous world is gone, then if he were to go back, so far, then everything gets undone. And, what if you think about how many times that we've been undone by some guy that created time travel and then had to start all over again from like the 1600s?
Well, yeah, I think
Or
think
even
about that.
earlier.
If you going back in time, your old self should still be there.
Yeah. And,
So you can't just go back and live, because then there'll be two of you. You know what I mean? So, like, you have to, like...
That's how it was a lot of times in old school time travel movies. You couldn't interact with yourself.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You can't, because it would fuck up everything. And, like, if you kill yourself, then you didn't exist. And then you, like, take yourself out of existence or whatever, But, so, like, there's so many weird things about it. So many weird things about it.
And then you got to make sure not to pull a fucking Marty McFroy and bang your mom when you go back in time.
Yeah, so like if you're gonna go back in time, it needs to be like fucking way back in time, or like
to where none of your friends are around.
Yeah, and then even if you do that, there's some relative of yours that lived at that time that you gotta watch out for that you don't even know. There's no way for you to know. How could you, unless you have like a fucking accurate timeline of like family tree and shit,
And you could stay away from them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, and trip on this. So this is a cool fact for both of us. If you never have kids, you'll be the first ever in your genealogy to do so. In your, like, lineage.
Dang.
Your family name and shit, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're breaking the cycle, bro.
I don't even think about it. That's dope. Hell yeah. Kill the cycle. Yep. I ain't got no kids, and I'm proud. Proud of it and glad.
Yeah.
Because, we've gotten into this before. This is a scary episode, but it's not about kids. But you know what is strange?
What?
Is babies. Imagine if you did have a kid and how hard it would be to keep that kid alive. You know what I mean? It's so easy to kill babies on accident. They're constantly trying to kill themselves. Babies, people say that dentists are the most suicidal. I'd say babies.
Man.
They're always choking on shit. Trying to fucking...
Not if you're watching them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really hard to keep babies alive. And, it's weird that I started realizing it the older I got, that every single person that you see out in the world is just a child that grew old. Everybody's still that same child. We're all still, that kid, whether it's, like a young, like childhood wonder, or if it's what you were into when you were a teenager, that still stays with you. And everybody's just trying to figure it out. And we were all just babies. And it's like, it's a weird thing because when I was a kid, I would always look at people like adults, and they were adults, and they knew more than me, and they like had this authority. And you realize as you get older and older that that's not the case at all. Everybody's just pretending to adult. But when you go home, you watch whatever you're going to watch or listen to whatever you're going to listen to and be into what you're into. And that's a trip to think about.
I don't think that's true to everybody, man.
No.
I think, no. I think people that settled down and had families and grew up young lose their child inside.
That's sad, man.
Yeah.
Sad. I feel like Peter Pan right now.
I think only selfish people keep the inner child.
I'll take it.
Selfish and like you don't want to have kids and like you want to like
you want to enjoy life.
Yeah, and you want to like I don't know, and that's part of being human and part of nostalgia and part of like so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Word up, word. Here's another weird one. You always see your nose.
Yeah, that is a trippy one.
Because your brain just blocks it out.
Yeah, and speaking of brains, think about this.
What?
The brain named itself.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy when you think about it.
How, right? How?
Yeah, brain named itself, motherfucker.
Tell me, brain.
All
you
these
ain't got
things.
the answers.
All these things are crazy as fuck.
Stupid brain.
Mm-hmm.
Here's
And what?
another one.
All right, we each got one more. One more for the gate. One more out the gate.
Mars.
Yeah.
It's solely inhabited by robots.
Holy shit, that's insane. Dude, I didn't even think about that. That blew my mind.
Yeah. That's all they got.
Wow.
Rovers, man.
That's right. Except for that guy, they caught his shadow on Mars. I saw the picture.
Yeah.
All right. My last one is drive-up ATMs have Braille on them.
Huh.
What's that for? Who's blind and driving? You know what I mean? It's somebody in the back seat. Okay, look. Let's talk to me over here. Let me talk to you over here. I know that it's somebody in the back seat. Like if you have someone that's in the back seat that's blind and they need to like, get some money, they just pull up and then they can pull up to the back window and then do it in. But I'm just doing it. It's for the bit, okay? It's for the bit.
Right.
So just go along with it.
Break.
Why would they even do that? You know what I mean? Blind people aren't driving cars. So I think that we should burn down Bank of... I probably shouldn't say the whole thing. Let's not do that. Let's scratch off... No.
It's probably because they don't like blind people in their bank.
You know what?
They make them go outside.
Yeah, because they have all those like displays with like cookies and coffee and shit, and then they're always like knocking into shit and fucking banging tables and hitting people on the ankles with their stick.
They're racist against blind people.
Mm-hmm. It's true. So I think that all the blind people out there need to rise up and go inside the bank and demand Braille to be removed from the drive-up ATM.
Oh no! Is there Braille monies?
Braille monies?
Yeah, there needs to be like Braille money.
Yeah.
Dollars. They need to be like in Braille too, right? Like,
yeah. Why is there not Braille money?
How do they know what kind of money they get?
They have to. Yeah, they have to get a bank account and they have to trust like 4 different people to not rip them off.
Yeah. How can you trust digital numbers? You can't.
No, I can't, and I can see, and I don't trust digital numbers. I don't trust my bank at all. I don't trust them at all. And it's not Bank of, like I said earlier.
Oh, yeah.
My bank is boop of America. All right. We're done. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys on what's today? Today Thursday?
Million.
We'll see you guys on Saturday. Bo it shows. Say the thing. Say your thing.
He said Bo Witchos.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it? You don't have a sign off?
That was yours right there, Bo Witchos.
Natural Habitat Recordings.